You are not honorable, Facebook group, and let me warn you, I'm very smart, IQ 170, and when I set my mind to do something, nothing can stop me. I do not feel I did anything wrong. You have 2 days. My demands are clear. Also, I have a 170 IQ. No more, it's Joinen, and I am very smart. Or that's what some people on the internet want you to think. And today we're looking at the top posts of the people who would think that they are very smart. But they're probably not. They're dumbs. They're big dumbs. The dumbest of dumb dumbs. And they think they're very smart. It's a riveting concept. Just stick with me. Let's just get into the post. I'll stop talking. Here we have a $10 black sewing machine brooch. This guy says, it may help you to spell it correctly. A brooch. Imagine coming in that obnoxiously, only to be wrong. Very smart. See, this is a classic example. You see, the blue guy here thinks he's really smart, but he's not. Because brooch is spelled brooch. I have a scientific mind. Philosophers have jumbled minds who keep asking the wrong questions. Questions that have no connection to the real world. Cringe. What is that, like a brain emoji? Yeah, dude, real smart. Good on you. What is the disadvantage of having high IQ? Having to mingle with the common folk. Oh, here we go. This kind of person. Oh, the burden of being so smart is having to talk with all of the dum-dums. It's true. Yes. Listening to the peasants squabble amongst themselves makes me want to jump off a building. Oh God, I hate that. Oh no. No, oh gosh. It's a whole thread. As a common folk, I am offended. Oh, this is like a gold mine for these types of things. The buzzing never stops. My head is never quiet. It's always working on something. It's always seeing patterns and concepts, and it doesn't ever stop. Seriously. My brain on idle creates rhythms and music non-stop with geometric patterns and visuals to go with. Everyone thinks you should know everything. Oh yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Just like this person's like readying up for their high IQ. They're like, you know, my doctor says I'm on the way to a real high IQ, so I can agree that one's gonna be annoying when I get there. That's how you bait out these kinds of answers. The disadvantage of having a high IQ. Everyone's like, oh, okay, let me chime in here. I feel like what's actually being going on here, like maybe you take this data and you extrapolate, you know, I'm a high IQ, you know, if you don't know what that means, then just look it up, extrapolate, it's not that hard a word. I'm sorry. You take that, look at it at a glance and you go, okay, maybe the disadvantage to having a high IQ is thinking of yourself super highly to the point of people don't like to hear you talk. Another disadvantage might be, for some reason, everybody just groans whenever you say anything about your IQ. Being so smart really sucks. You know, I have to mingle with a common folk. And everyone's like, oh. And they're like, such a common folk response. You ever type a message and be like, nah, this English is too strong for this person, and had to simplify it? Okay, hold up, hear me out. Hear me out. Maybe this person is specifically talking about English as a second language or it's not a first language, people, you know? I've done that. If I'm texting my grandma, I'm simplifying my English. You know what I mean? That's not high IQ, though. That's because my grandma speaks Finnish. Halogens. It exists as a lustrous, purple-black, non-metallic solid at standard conditions that melts from a deep violet liquid at 114 degrees Celsius and boils to a violet gas at 184 degrees Celsius. Ha! I knew you were dumb. Suck it, loser. Oops. Wrong chat. Oh no. Context. All right. You know, if you must know. I've done an oopsie. I have this wicked mega high IQ, but I have accidentally posted this halogen fact into the wrong chat. If you must know the context, I can see you wondering. My friend asked me if iodine melts, which my smartass replies with a yes, but he goes, no, it doesn't. It sublimates. What an idiot! What? He reckons iodine sublimates? Oh, it is so hard mingling with the common folk. So anyway, I went on to prove him wrong. By the way, you know, if you're still reading, I haven't even given you a second. Oh no, he has. He gave him an hour. There was like an hour between all this. He sent all this and he's just like, bam, 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 bam. So I proved him wrong. And then like an hour later, he's getting no response. And he's like, no. Listen, if you take the most powerful dog and put it against the most powerful cat, the dog would be shredded cheese. XD is the telltale sign of a full-blown genius. I don't know what that's got to do with anything though. Like he's been sitting on this for an hour just waiting for a reply and he's like, wait, so I got this other fun fact. I think I say this every time. A lot of these are excusable if we're like talking young teens, because young teens, you know, they're stepping out into the world. They want to feel a little bit special. And they're like, you know what? I did score pretty good on my math test. I think I might actually be a genius. Or like, yeah, I actually did say a word one time and my friend didn't know what it meant. So I think maybe I've got like a pretty good vocabulary. And then they just sit there chatting on like Facebook Messenger or whatever. And they're like, so how about we decide? Ooh, decide. Wait. And then they grab the word decide, they copy and paste it into Google and type in synonym. How about we determine? Welcome to Why Being Gifted Sucks. The curse of being a gifted student. Tags everyone. Hashtag wish I wasn't gifted. I don't know. You start to feel a little bit bad. You start to feel a little bit bad laughing at this. I hate gifts. I hate being gifted so often. It always gets in the way. I wish I was an average pleb. Is everyone an idiot? Or do I have a superiority complex from reading books and excelling in English class? Yes, to the latter. Well, geez, I mean, maybe a little bit excelling in English class though, and no capital I. Cancelled. Fail whale. How do you do that? Got him. What a loser. Am I right? Excelling in English class. Lowercase I. Ha! So basic. Think you're so good at English class? All right, everybody in chat, try to be as smart as possible. You have one sentence, one short-ish sentence to convince me that you have the highest IQ, higher than anyone else in the chat. Go. My dog farted, big PP. E equals MC squared. I got big IQ. Did you know that the ocean is very big? That's pretty smart. I got huge brain, peanut butter, and jelly. The fitness gram pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. Are you talking about the beep test? Joinen's hair is amazing? Oh, dang, that person's pretty gifted. Kind of feel like that person's pretty smart. Hippo can't swim. I've heard that. They bounce. They bounce on the bottom of the river or whatever they're getting around it. They bounce off the bottom and then come back up. I'm too smart to try it, to prove it. Yeah, you wouldn't understand. Like I could explain in one sentence what makes me so smart, but you guys just wouldn't get it. Gamer girl bathwater uwu. That person's definitely the highest IQ in the chat. Bart is the second smartest Simpson behind Lisa. As a smart person, 170 IQ, could drive a minivan at 3 years old. What? It's like the same sentence, 170 IQ, which is to say, could drive a minivan at 3 years old. That's how they're doing the test these days, supposedly. But not academically myself. I relate a lot to him. Wait, what? Wait, so he's saying Bart's super smart, and so is this guy. So is Mr. Cool. And he knows that because he has 170 IQ. We're talking probably online test here. Let's be real. And he could drive a minivan at 3 years old. But not academically myself. I relate a lot to him. Loving the grammar and the general vibe of smartness oozing from Mr. Cool. Stay hydrated, guys. That's big brain. You want big brain? Big thirst. Glug, glug, big brain. Get those IQ points up, maybe to 170, and then maybe one day you too can drive a minivan at 3 years old. Oh, this is Karen on Facebook. I'm glad to see you approved my last post, but you still haven't given me a detailed explanation as to why you blocked my original post. So I'm going to tell you this, I'm not a patience person. However, I will allow you 2 days to do as I've requested, and don't tell me to read your guidelines. I want an actual response. If you fail to do so, I will make it my mission to make it known all over the internet that you are not honorable Facebook group, and let me warn you, I'm very smart, IQ 170, and when I set my mind to do something, nothing can stop me. I do not feel I did anything wrong. You have 2 days. My demands are clear. Also, I have a 170 IQ. 170 seems to be like, that's the real deal. Like, it's 170 is where you're at. And why is it that all these smart people just type in like run-on sentences or just bad grammar? Why do smart people have bad grammar? There's another answer to that first Reddit question. What is the disadvantage to having a high IQ? Bad grammar, run-on sentences, never using full stops, never reaching 171 IQ. I'm just like actually thinking about the content of that one. It's actually kind of funny that someone had a post blocked and then they just start going on and they're like, listen, I have to warn you, I do actually have 170 IQ. So whatever reason you're going to give me as to why it was blocked, it better be good, but you have 2 days. What kind of threat is that? Like, what's going to happen? What is going to happen in 2 days' time? Did you know I read 4 different books a day? Self-development/business, romance book, masculinity, and Bible. One like. I don't know why that's so funny. Like, it reads 4 books a day. It's a bit of a bizarre spread. Self-development, romance book, masculinity, and Bible. I feel like you could probably get all of those topics just out of the Bible. Maybe he's talking about different books in the Bible. There's definitely a lot of self-development going on in the Bible. There's definitely some romance. There's that book, one of the books in the Bible, very romantic. Romantic stuff. Masculinity? I mean, who's more masculine than Jesus? Forgot that my intro-level literature class also covered quantum mechanics. Luckily, a fellow Zoom University student was here to enlighten the rest of us simple-minded students. If you have questions, ask me. I love studying quantum physics on my free time. I don't doubt it. There's definitely people getting around there and they're just like, yeah, quantum physics. You spend your time watching Netflix? Nah, fam. I'm out here studying quantum physics, learning about life and everything in between. This isn't even the worst example of very smart that I've ever seen, but the cringe is enough to make my guts tingle after seeing it IRL on a satire reductress post about Joe Rogan. Ah, yes, Joe Rogan. The real high IQ peeps are the ones listening to Joe Rogan. Immediate IQ boost. You see, the thing with Joe Rogan is that he's actually a really fair and smart person. You know, once you get past all the, you haven't even seen a gorilla at full strength yet stuff, he gets a real diverse cast of guests. And I just feel like you really have a lot to learn by listening to Joe Rogan and everything he's got to say about everyone. You know, it's not just comedy people. It's not just MMA people. Sometimes it's Alex Jones. Okay, anyway, let's see what the actual post says. I mean, I'm degree educated and INTJ and have performed several psychometrics to confirm said intellect. to confirm said intellect. This guy's super smart. Unfortunately, rationalists don't tend to favor opinions such as yours because they're pragmatic and not based in a naive sense of morality. Joe Rogan is not dangerous, and the ideologies of people such as Jordan Peterson aren't either. Your cognitive bias just gets in the way of your fundamental truth of their worth. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. I think what the title was saying is that this was posted on a joke about Joe Rogan. It's pretty intellectual. My boss watches him all the time. I listen to Joe Rogan. I just roasted him. Whenever there's someone interesting on, I listen to Joe Rogan. I was making the joke, but I actually do genuinely believe that it is kind of interesting because he gets all sorts of people on there. And I guess some people would say it's damaging because he gets people on there that are clearly spouting nonsense. But as long as you're aware that sometimes they talk about things as if it's fact when they're not, then it's fine. Is that why you said people who listen to Joe Rogan have high IQ? Still alive equals true. While still alive, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, wash hands, get tested. Can someone tell the marketing department they're not funny and they're triggering developers? We have Snake Case and Pascal Case being used. They should all be Camel Case. Unless those are classes. If they are, why are they classes if everything is happening in the constructor? Don't even get me started on the infinite loop that they just throw us into. Declines pull request. I think if you take away the first sentence, then this is fine. Like, then it's just kind of being funny. You know what I mean? I just sort of feel like this is the kind of response that I would have just to something. Like, that's what my YouTube channel is. I like... Whenever someone says something wrong about cameras, when someone gets me started on Polaroids, and I'm like, actually... You know, there can be comedy in it. But when you're starting it with, can someone tell the marketing department they're not funny and they're triggering developers? Then it's just like, okay, all right, calm down. Then you know that like, this almost seems genuine and not like they're just trying to be funny, like have a funny response because it's probably not proper code. Don't get him started on Polaroid versus Instax. Yeah, exactly. You know, there is humor to having the overblown reaction to something like that. But as long as you're actually being humorous and not just like genuinely upset. In my opinion, He overcorrected. This was you should practice all styles of racing. The rear end lost traction, yes, but that was a perfectly controllable drift. The car was still on the race line and the nose was pointed in the right direction. He could have just as easily feathered his way out that slide by controlling the accelerator until the rear regained traction. How many times have you been in the Eau Rouge? I don't know how to say that. In a GT3 car in the wet. No, but this guy's smart, dude. He knows. Don't need to question him. He knows his drift and stuff. He knows his stuff. Also, why is it that always the smart people? You should practice all styles of racing. It's a car racing very smart. Top Gear, it's top brain gear. You have an IQ of 74. That was posted on Facepalm. And this person chimes in. How? What? I took the same test myself and I got 134. I'm 12 years old. I feel like people don't realize that doesn't mean anything. It means you got 134 for a 12-year-old. Being older doesn't get you a better score, okay? You would have to be an idiot on an unimaginable caliber to get a 74. It's only 20 questions. Jesus Christ almighty, what the floof? I'm smarter than 134% of people. What? You saying if you have an IQ of 1, you're smarter than 1% of people? That can't be right. Let's see if I get 170. You must work mentally. Do not use pencil and paper or calculation. What about Twitch chat? It doesn't say I'm not allowed to use Twitch chat. The test is timed, so work quickly. Oh no. You must read and respond to a total of 38 statements. Oh no. A cat's about to interrupt. You may take as long as you wish. No, you mustn't. You must be very quick. Be ready to concentrate and think fast. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my gosh. The word mineral can be spelled using only letters found in the word parliament. Sure. Whatever. 27 minutes before 7 o'clock is 33 minutes before 5 o'clock. 27 minutes before is 33 minutes past. Yeah, sure. There's so many questions. If a round analog clock featuring the numbers 1 to 12 is hung on the wall upside down. Oh no. The minute hand will point to the right of the viewer when the clock reads 2:45. Okay, I agree. Why is everything true? If the word quain is understood to mean the same word as den, huh? If you leave the letters in the same order but rearrange the spaces in the face, them eats on, it can be read as, huh? Oh my gosh, this is so stressful. 9 chickens, 2 dogs, and 3 cats have a total of 40 legs. 40 legs? It seems like too many legs. I'm gonna move on. 16 hours are to 1 day as 20 days are to June's length. Huh? In the English alphabet, there are exactly 4 letters between the letter M and the letter G. Oh no, I don't know. If a thumb is a finger and 3 gloves and 3 shoes normally hold 35 fingers and toes. Huh? The words every, how, hand, ever can form common compound words using respectively 1, ever, finger, more. I don't even know what that question's asking. I'm saying false. Fred will be 4 blocks from the starting place if he travels 2 blocks north and then 3 blocks east and then what? 2, 3, and then 2 blocks south. 1, 2. He's 4 blocks from the starting place. No, now you talk. No. Shh.
Hey, Joinen, you have to pay to get the results.
Are you serious? I can't think about that. The following words are the opposite words that begin with the letter R. Grasp, release, unwind, wind. What? This doesn't make any sense. A square whose side each measures 10 centimeters can completely fit inside a regular hexagon with sides each measuring 10 centimeters. I don't know. This is making me feel so dumb. 6 identical triangles can be formed by drawing 2 straight lines through it, an octagon center point. Huh? If each 7 persons in a group shakes hands with each other, with the other 6 people, then a total of 42 handshakes occur? I don't know. True. If a donut-shaped house has 2 doors to the outside and 3 doors to the inner court, then it's possible to end up back at your starting place by walking through all 5 doors and sure, I agree. It just seems like a weird thing to... Okay, here we go. Stop timer. Whew, that was stressful. Now everyone's gonna be like, Joinen, you got that one wrong. It's actually false. You can't go through 6 doors and end up back where you started. All right, let's see what I got. To be fair, I was reading them out, which I feel like makes you slower. Your complete intelligence profile has been generated and can be accessed immediately for $15. What a scam. I couldn't decide midway through if I was going to spend the money or not, because then there'd be no point spending the money in the first place, because then it would be moot. Legit scam. That IQ test was terrible. Doesn't matter, because this is what everyone else has done on this website. Everyone claiming to have their, 134, 170 IQ. They did one of these. Here we go, folks. The results are in. $15 later, we've been scammed out of our money here, but whatever. Here we go. We have the complete intelligence profile for Join in. I'm a 106 in arithmetic. I've got good spatial skills. What am I the best at? Spelling, for some reason. Oh no, I'm equally good at algebraic. My total is 117. Is that my IQ? Oh, there we go. I'm 117. I'm not 170. Let's see. Here we go. Anyone with a general IQ score this high is considered to be, get this, folks, above average intelligence. Oh, you heard it here first. This score is better than 87.15% of all persons taking this test. There we go. Most occupations can be comprehended with the general IQ test this high. There you go. IQ test literally saying you can do anything. You can do anything you set your mind to. You scored higher than your general IQ score in 6 individual ability categories. Bam! 0 of these better scores could be called statistically significant. What? And may indicate special abilities. Oh. Why'd you have to say it then? They're like, okay, listen, you did pretty good. In fact, 0 of these could indicate that you have special abilities. Oh, look, I get a certificate of intelligence. Ready? Upon completion of the IQ test at iqtest.com, Joinen has achieved the following scores. General intelligence, 117. There we go. It's even signed by R. West. There we go. I have a certificate of intelligence. Woohoo! Okay. Clearly, I can't compete with the 170 IQ masters, all right? What I will say is I was reading them out loud, maybe slowed me down a little bit, maybe stressed me out. Imagine doing your IQ test with 300 people watching you, all over your back, being like, no, you see, I wouldn't put that there. You know, a little bit of pressure, okay? I'm just saying, my brain's pretty dang big. I'm pretty dang smart. I'm joking. Print it out and hang it on your wall. I'll put it right here. Actually, I could put it right here right now. There we go. I've got my certificate of intelligence hanging up on my wall because I'm so proud of my score. Was it worth the $15? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Guys, you don't need dumb online tests to tell you whether you're smart or not. It's pretty dumb. They were literally true or false questions. You could fluke your way to a pretty good score. The 170 IQ move right now is to buy the sweet lemon carton merch. You can get that in the description below. It's got a cute little lemon carton on it, as you can see. It's right there. And come and follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/JoinInBot on Twitch, where we film these videos live every weekday. And you can come and see me stress out and get a certificate of intelligence live. It's worth it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for watching my video, but now that it's done, please watch another one.